Hi, my name is Jordan Adler. I grew up in a small suburb south of Chicago, and my father saved his whole life for me to go to college for 1 year, and then we were required, myself and my sisters were required to graduate from college. So I go down to the University of Illinois, and when I graduate, I take a guitar, a suitcase, and $250 and move to Arizona because there was a lot of building going on, and I had a degree in landscape architecture. I don't know where it came from because I grew up in a non-entrepreneurial family, but I was an entrepreneur. And I started applying for jobs. At the same time, I was answering classified ads for different opportunities. And I signed up in network marketing companies. My job, I had many jobs when I first, got started in the working world. I rented roller skates, and I worked at a gym, and I began drafting and different things like that. But I was always interested in these little entrepreneurial enterprises, and I had picked up a book at a garage sale for a quarter called The 10 Napkin Presentations by Don Failla. And I read the book and I got really excited about the idea of leveraged income, the idea of being able to get paid over and over again for work that you do one time. I embraced that idea and that concept, and so I started looking at these different classified ads and signing up in different network marketing companies. Now my jobs were paying me under $20,000 a year. And after working in the in the corporate world, I actually joined an airline actually joined an airline in the 80s, and I was there for 10 years, and I was involved in all these different entrepreneurial projects and companies, and I spent money that I didn't have. I borrowed money on my credit cards. In fact, I had 22 credit cards with $36,000 worth of debt on the credit cards, signing up in different companies. And over the course of 10 years, I had signed up in 11 different network marketing companies while I had my corporate job at the airline. And I never made a penny in any company. I never signed up a single distributor, never made any money. And then I met a guy, his name is Russ, and we never went into business together. But he was 25 years old, he was married, he had a little baby, and he was living in this huge, what I consider to be a mansion in Scottsdale, Arizona, with a big circle drive and a fountain out front and a library, and he drove an expensive sports car. And at that time, he had the lifestyle that I wanted. And so we got together, and he shared some wisdom with me. It was simple. And it really had nothing to do with the company, but he shared some things that shifted my mindset. It just shifted my focus. And I joined my 12th network marketing company, and in that company, I was there for 13 years, I made $8 million. And it was very simple. He told me that for every 30 people that you sign up in a company, whether it be if you're a realtor and you're a real estate broker and you sign up brokers, or if you're an insurance broker and you sign up insurance agents, or if you're a network marketer and you sign up distributors. He said for every 30 people that you sign up, typically you'll find that about 10 of them will do absolutely nothing, and there's nothing you can do about that. He said about 10 of them will do a little, like it's the realtor that sells one house a year. And then the other 10 will do a little more than a little, but he said one, typically out of 20 to 30, will go out and build a big business. And if you talk to any successful real estate broker, they'll tell you that they need to recruit typically 30, 40, 50 people to find one that's going to actually do anything big. So there was a coffee place called Coffee Plantation on Mill Avenue in Tempe, Arizona. My office at America West Airlines was there. They had just filed bankruptcy and cut my pay from $28,000 a year down to $14,000 a year. And what I started doing was setting up appointments with people that I knew to sit down with them at Coffee Plantation to show them my business. And my goal was to show the business 3 times a week. And my goal was to do that every single week for 2 years. Because I figured if I showed it 3 times a week for a month, that would be 12 presentations a month. If 11 people said no and 1 said yes every month, so if I showed it to 12 people a month, 3 a week, 11 said no and 1 said yes. If I did that every month for a couple of years, I would have sponsored or recruited 24 people. That was my goal, because Russ had told me that for every 20 to 30 people you sign up, you'll have 10 that'll do nothing, 10 that'll do a little, 10 that'll do a little more than a little, and 1 will go out and build it big. So that was my goal, and I did that. After 2 years, I'd signed up 19 people. And from those 19, the 16th individual was a woman that was an analyst at America West Airlines, at the airline that I worked for. And she signed up a lady in New Mexico who was a secretary and a student. That lady started having meetings at her home, just little get-togethers, and over the next few years, that group grew to 12,000 distributors and 40,000 customers and made me my first $1 million. Well, I continued to do that for 13 years. In 13 years, I signed up 129 distributors. That's in 144 months. There's 144 months in 13 years. Signed up 129 distributors. Now, interestingly, 95% of my income came from 5 of those 129 people. And I had an organization of about 85,000 people. So there was a major shift that occurred in the industry that I was part of that caused the whole industry to get turned upside down. And about 8 years ago, I was faced with a business decision. And I started getting cards in the mail from a guy that I didn't know. And I got over a period of a couple of weeks, I got 5 or 6 cards, and some of those cards had a DVD in them. And finally, I popped one of the DVDs in and watched it. And I was taught by my mother at a very young age the importance of handwriting thank you cards. And I did that for years. She got me in the habit of doing it. I did it for years. I'd send out birthday cards and sympathy cards and get well cards and thank you cards, and I'd stop doing it because I got busy just like everyone else. Well, when I watched this DVD, I saw a way that I could start doing that again. And I had collected hundreds and hundreds of business cards from entrepreneurs over the years. And I thought, this is a great way of connecting with all these people to begin sending birthday cards again. And when somebody does something nice for me, to be able to send out a thank you card and things like that. So I got in touch with this guy, and he walked me through sending a card to my mother who lived in Chicago. I was in Arizona at the time. As soon as I hit the send button, I thought to myself, this is something I must do. So I signed up to be a customer initially, and I told the guy I'm not interested in building the business. However, after I sent out probably close to 100 cards, the feedback I was getting was so powerful and so positive, I started thinking there's millions of people out there that are going to need this and are going to want it, and I wanted to be part of that growth. So I started calling people that I had business cards for. I wrote them on a list and I started calling them, and I started sharing this concept, and I was sharing it with 3 to 5 people a day. And my business started to grow. Actually, by my 10th week, I started signing up about 1 person a day. Now granted, I was showing the business to 3 to 5 people a day, but I started signing up, after a period of a few weeks, I started signing up about 1 person a day, and I did that for quite a long time, and that's what launched my business. That's what got my business going. The business grew to 1,000 distributors, then 10,000 distributors, then 50,000, 60,000 distributors, and today, we're just getting started. We're a large, small network marketing company, but we are on the cusp of explosive growth with what we've got in place. You've picked a great time to get involved with SendOutCards.